This kitchen makeover has been a very interesting test of my creativity in the design world. It's been filled with challenges and changes that kept popping up along the way, in part because I decided to do something I don't typically do, which is just kind of wing it as I go without an exact game plan. And I did that for a few reasons, but one of the things I had attempted to do was use what I already had on hand when it came to paint. And unfortunately, the paint that I had on hand was very, very blue, and it was just not really my cup of tea. So I had tried changing the color multiple times and did come up with a beautiful sage green, which I loved. And yes, that is past tense because the green, the sage, is no more. So I had gone to the hardware store and asked the paint specialist about a lacquer that I could use that has a clear finish and no yellowing. But unfortunately, what they referred me to ended up not being clear at all. It was a white finish, and it looked like I had sprayed my cabinets with a cloud. And so the green was gone and they were back to some sort of blue. And at this point, since we were back to blue yet again, I decided to lean into it. I'm the most happy with this so far out of this whole project. But that just doesn't work. I think that although this wallpaper that I have had on here is beautiful, it's too much color now for me. It's just too much color, and because it got all cloudy, all the edges of this wallpaper are also cloudy, and I really don't love it. I have lived with it for a few days to say, hey, maybe it's not that big of a deal, but I don't love it. So I told myself I haven't gone through all of this to now have to settle for something I'm not really satisfied with. If this had been sage, if they had come out the correct color and it was sage, this project would be 90% done. So I made the decision to strip away the original, very beautiful paper and go for something that, in my opinion, was more French-like and equally as beautiful, just completely different, and something that in the end I am loving just so much more, and I think that I will not tire of anytime soon. And I'm not sure if I've ever shown this before, but I have a deep freezer, and this has been stored in my spare room for a couple of years now, and so that has been moved into the kitchen, which feels so good just having all of the food supplies in one place. I picked up this Paris sketch from my local Marshalls, and the smaller floral photo I thrifted probably about a year ago and just never put it to use. This art piece I found on the sidewalk, just on the side of the road on a busy street. Someone was throwing it out. It was next to the trash. I cleaned it up so it's a lot more vibrant now, and it's a nice piece. It's not probably something I would have sought after, like to purchase, but seeing it there just sitting ready to go to the trash, I figured I could give it a second life, or maybe I don't know how many lives it's had, but I could give it another shot at some more time before it gets, put in an incinerator or something. So I brought it home, and I do think it would work in this space. I don't really see myself using it in any other area in my home, but I think having this pop of color in the kitchen would be really nice. So we'll see if I can manage to make it work. Otherwise, I could put it back in my front hall where it has been hanging out on the floor, leaned up against the wall. I actually like that look a lot as well. I could place it on top of the deep freezer, which kind of finishes out this corner, but I'm wondering if it looks a little bit cluttered because I haven't even styled my shelves yet, so I don't know if it would just be too much on the eye because I do have the other art prints up here. Another thought I have is to put it up on this top shelf so it would really fill in the top of this wall, which would kind of be the center point of where my refrigerator is to the end of the wall here. So I'm gonna give it some thought and decide. And then I wanted to show you these really lovely under cabinet lights that I found. So they are digital. You just charge them up as often as needed, and then you place it right back onto the light. They are magnetic and they work with a 3M backing, so you can pretty much put these anywhere very easily. It's so accessible. You can tap them to turn them on, and they also work by sensing movement. So that means they could also be used as a nightlight pretty much anywhere. In case you weren't sure just how narrow my kitchen is, my refrigerator is right here and my sink and cabinets are right here. So it's very, very narrow, which is really fine because it's mainly me in here, and if I have a guest or even a couple of guests, it actually opens up a little bit on the other side of the kitchen, but yeah, I've never really had any issues with it being narrow. But just to show you some more reality of how small these apartment kitchens can be in the city here. So I want to show you that I picked up this trash can. If you remember, I had been using a Trader Joe's paper bag as a trash can for probably a few months because I had thrown out my old trash can, which was just, it was beat up, it bit the dust. And so I found this one, which is super cute. It's a decent size for my needs while being a nice cream light color, which does tie in nicely with the overall aesthetics in this kitchen. However, I can leave it out if I want to. I could also, one of the reasons I was really attracted to it, it's got these holes on the back, and I placed this 3M hook situation. So that's all it is. It actually came, let me show you. It came with a lot of options. I'm definitely gonna link this one for you guys because the other nice thing about it is it can be used as a compost bin. So it came with the 3M hooks, which I have chosen to use on the inside of my cabinet so that I could just put it away and it's not even out in eyesight. Even though it's not ugly, I just thought if it's one less thing off the floor, out of the way, because it is so small in here, that should be helpful. Putting it here is actually gonna work very nicely. It also came with this, which is just an over the door hook. So I could have hooked it like that. I didn't really want to see the black, but you would see the black once you close the door. So I didn't want to see that. So I opted for this one. And then the other option, if you don't choose to hang it at all, it does come with 2 plugs. So you could just plug the little holes and leave it out and don't hang it at all. However, I'll be hanging it. The front opens up just like that, and then the back opens up, and that's where you would take this out to replace the actual liner. And then it just sits right on here. Perfect. Just like so. Oh my gosh, this place is totally transformed. It does not look like the same kitchen. It does not feel like I'm in the same home when I'm in this room. And I'm so excited and thrilled for all of the autumn and winter baking and cooking that's coming our way. I cannot wait to share with you. I'm motivated now, I'm inspired. I want to make even more food related videos, or at least incorporate them into some of my vlog footage. I don't know. I'm just excited. I'm so grateful that you came along with me on this journey. If you haven't seen part 1 and are interested in how this all started, you can go back and watch that. But otherwise, enjoy the before and afters of this incredible space. My kitchen is now light and airy with just the right amount of color for me. I think the style is so sweet and it just doesn't feel like the same space anymore. Not only do I enjoy being in here just to take it in while making a cup of tea, but I am so inspired to be in my kitchen more often, to cook, to bake, to create. There are a few bits I'd still like to tend to. For instance, the gap on the side of the cabinets, getting a new outlet cover, painting or updating the dark ceiling fan, replacing my old nonstick cookware with stainless steel. The underside of the cabinet is still that original blue color, but at this point I don't really mind it and I don't really see it either. And I originally didn't like the countertops, but now I think that this color really does tie in quite well. This makeover has challenged me to lean into the unexpected, and in so doing, it has shown me that sometimes the unexpected is exactly what you need.